Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the directions that we're going to be going on this channel here. What I want to do, I've done this in the past, but I'm going to actually take some of your comments and I will be addressing some of your comments in video. I think it's very important that we engage one another in things that are important. Of course, I'm not going to be dealing with any foolishness. Unless I feel the need to say something specific about it. But I want to see what my audience has on their mind, and I want to address some of those things. Many of you, whether it's on Facebook or through email, direct email, or on the videos in the comment section, you will present certain things to us that you want us to talk about that's out here in the world. An article or something that you've seen, a video that you've seen, and you just kind of want us to touch on it or talk about it. But I would like to also talk about things that are dealing with you and your life, questions and concerns that you may have. I think that is a good direction to go with redirecting, is to actually look at what the people are experiencing and going through. That was one of the reasons why on our ministry channel, we had a couple of brothers who submitted their testimonies to us about their encounters with interracial dating and marriage. And those testimonies were quite a baraka for a lot of people. For those of you who don't know what baraka is, we were told that blessed means one thing, but I think there's some research to be done on the etymology of the word blessed, okay? Is being linked actually to the word cursed as well. Someone re-brought that up in one of our live broadcasts. I had heard it before, but it just kind of, I'm going to say at that time that I heard it fell on deaf ears, if you know what I mean. But these words in the English language are definitely riddled with all kinds of things. And once we know, we need to try to make those changes. Of course, I always say this when I pray, and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. So what I'm essentially saying is when I pray, if I believe the word blessed to mean something that's good, or to mean what we were originally told, finding favor with the Most High, let the meditations of my heart be acceptable. But once we know, we need to, or certainly need to try to make the change. But anyway, back to the reason why I'm doing this video. I want you all to know that I will be looking at your comments, because your comments, many times some of you are explaining things that have happened in your lives, and sometimes you want another perspective on how to deal with those things, right? And that's another reason why I started the Arresting Your Thoughts mini series, because a lot of people are just being drawn away by their own thoughts. I thought about the young lady who called her sister up and told her that she killed everybody. She said, I killed my own daughter, I killed a tenant that was living in the house, and I killed your daughter too. And trying to even wrap your brain around that is just very difficult. How did the sister feel hearing her own sister on the phone telling her that I killed my child, this person, and your child too? That had to be devastating in itself, you see. And so this was a woman who didn't arrest her thoughts. That thought to do these heinous things entered into her mind. She didn't know what to do with the thought, so she acted on the thought, right? And so I'm not saying that I have the solution to every person's problem. I'm just doing what I can. And I won't be able to get to every question either, but I will certainly make an effort to go through the comment section and address certain things that are said or asked, or things that you want us to talk about on the channel here. We did have our internet service looked at again. The first time they tried to fix it, it seemed to have gotten worse. But we had them back out again and they found a deeper problem. And so far, the problem appears to be fixed and resolved. So, what I'd like to do, especially those of you who have become members of this channel to support the work of this channel, I would like to have more live broadcasts talking about specific things that are presented to us by those of you in the comment sections, or questions that are submitted to us in other ways as well. There are some things that will be for members only. There were some things that will be for a general audience. But I would like to give a try at live broadcasting from this location here, because it was something I wasn't able to do before because of bad reception. So we will give a try and see what it's like. I love. I know that we have a lot of ups and downs that we need to overcome. There's a lot of bickering and fighting and hatred and jealousy and malice and all kinds of stuff going on among our people right now. And it's very difficult to even wrap your brain around, very difficult to deal with. But we have to understand that even in all of that, there will always be those of us who are going to love each other no matter what the other knuckleheads are doing. Let knuckleheads be knuckleheads, right? But those of us who still love each other, those of us who still care about one another and want to see things change for each other, we are going to focus on that group, okay? Anything that to be for admonishment, for the purpose of admonishment. The scripture tells us to admonish one another daily. And also it tells us to cry aloud and spare not, and lift up our voices like a trumpet in Zion, to show our people their transgressions. And so we are going to continue to do that, but we also have to focus on those of us who do actually love each other and it's real and we know it's real. We got to deal with that aspect as well. There's a lot of information that we've presented over the years that many of you have found to be helpful, and you have expressed how helpful it has been. And so we want to definitely keep that going as well. So again, I'm going to be engaging my audience more by looking at your comments and addressing some of the comments, and even bringing some of it live. I would even like to, once I figure it out, I try to do as much as I can on my own by myself, because a lot of times my husband is busy and he doesn't mind doing it. If I told him to help me get set up to try to do a live, or to do some type of where they have the split screen and more than one person is on the call or whatever, he would do it. He would definitely do it. But I like to be thoughtful of him and his time, and knowing that he's busy doing a lot of things. And so I try to figure out things as much as I can. When I can't figure it out, I definitely call on him. So he did help me get a lot of things set up here. But in terms of my broadcasting, I like to try to figure it out on my own. And so since we got the internet part fixed, I would like to attempt some lives with you all. And hopefully I will still get the good reception, because I'm still quite a distance away from the router, but I want to try it. I want to do some lives talking to my audience, and I want to talk about some real stuff, y'all. I want to talk about redirecting. How do we get out of these ruts that we're in? Because we are definitely in some ruts as a people. And it's going to be very helpful for us to kind of toss around ideas on helping one another. Another thing that we'd like to do, we'd like to add more to our content here on this channel and our Virtue Vibe magazine channel. With that particular YouTube channel, we would like to open up the floor, or the platform, should I say, to others who have some content that they would like to contribute, so that they could build their brand. All right. We will use this network to help to promote that as well, so that anyone who is interested in doing something like that, you can present it to us. And we will consider what the content is you would like to contribute. It's kind of similar to what the Minister of Wellness does. We've allowed him to submit his content because it's of benefit to our people. It doesn't just have to be something that's health related. Some of you have some very interesting political views. Some of you have some very interesting views of gardening. I would like to hear those who have interesting views on relationships with our men, between our men and women. Those of you who might have some interesting content you'd like to contribute concerning our families, concerning income, just so many different things. You can run it by us and we can see how we can work that in, or if it's something that we would like to see on the channel. It's definitely a way to increase the knowledge of what's going into Virtue Vibe. Virtue Vibe magazine is something where we want to see a lot of different perspectives on things, right? We do want those of you who are into herbs, because we are into herbs. So we're going to be talking more and more about herbal remedies for healing our bodies and things of that nature. Fashion, just things that you would see in a magazine. We want it to be quality content. We don't just want it to be something that's just thrown together. We would like to see something that is going to be presented in a decent way. There's some things that and the outro. The first intro that the Minister of Wellness had, that was something that we produced for him. Now he's using something that's a little shorter. If I remember in this video, I will drop that intro there so you can see what I mean when I say that's something that we initially did for him to introduce the series to the channel. Okay, we can those of you who might be interested in what I'm talking about, if you are unable to get something like that done for yourself, just let us know. We are very reasonable with something like that, a quick intro. We, of course, encourage you to, some of you may already have a channel and you're just trying to increase viewership. But those of you who might be starting off new, you will be able to take that intro to your own channel as well, so that you can use what you're doing on the Virtue Vibe network to try to increase your own network as well. Of course, we know that everyone has different thoughts and different ideas on things. When it comes to certain topics, if it's going to be a conflict of interest with us, we might not deal with it. Like if you believe the earth is flat, we're not getting into that kind of stuff. We want to deal with issues that are going to be of benefit to everyone, not something that's going to cause friction and arguments and contentions and all of that kind of stuff. We want to talk about herbs and fashion, and even some of you who might be into modest dressing, just a number of different topics, relationships, just so many different things. Some ideas that you might have that I might not have mentioned in this video, present those to us. We would like to know about them. Real estate, that was something my husband and I were involved in for a long time. If any of you have some inside information on real estate investing, that would be great as well. I'm going to get back into that on the business membership portion of this channel, on how we invested in real estate. This was a long time ago, but that information is still good information. We enjoyed it when we were doing it. And if we had the time and the desire to, it would be something that we would love to get into again, but we don't have the time to. Right now, ministry, family, all of that stuff is a lot more important to us. If we had a team or a group of people, we would possibly consider something like that. But it's just difficult to work with people in groups on something like that when everyone doesn't have the right mindset or work ethic. So there are other aspects of business as well that we will be getting into on the Virtue Vibe channel and the membership portion of this channel as well. So I hope that this video will spark some type of imagination in you. Those of you who might be into designing, that's another thing that I was going to talk about. I want to talk about some different business ideas as well that some of you might want to engage in, something that you can literally start with nothing. Did you hear what I said? And when I say nothing, I'm talking about very minimal, less than $100, right? Because the economy is getting kind of rough, and so rough to the point where you don't want to sit back and just depend on your job alone. Okay, so stay tuned for more of these types of conversations, family. This wasn't really a conversation. This was more about what we'd like to do on the channel, and not just this channel, but also the Virtue Vibe channel, and an appeal to you who want to join us in some of these things, to help increase your own platform that you may already have, or to start a platform that you would like to engage an audience in. So that is what we're up to right now, family. I'm going to end this video now. I hope that I will get some of you who are interested in what we're talking about here, because this is all about spreading the love, family. Okay, this is all about us all getting ourselves to a place and to a point where we can spread the love to one another. With that, I will say shalom.